So I have all of my ingredients gathered for the Christmas sugar cookies. It's a recipe that I found on the internet. It had a lot of reviews, positive reviews, so I've decided to move ahead with this one. And my ingredients are 2 cups of white sugar, 1.5 cups of butter softened, 4 large eggs, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt. Now, I'm going to reduce my amount of salt because I ran low on my salt-free butter. And so rather than adding a lot of salt, a portion of the butter that I've already softened has salt in it. So I'm actually going to do 1/2 teaspoon of salt to accommodate that. So having said that, I want to get my, there we are. So the first step is to beat the sugar, which is 2 cups, and my softened butter in a large bowl until smooth. So that's our first step. We're going to do that. I just refilled my Tupperware container. So I've hosted a couple of Tupperware parties through the years. A girlfriend of mine is a representative. And so I've been fortunate enough to have these products, which I really, really use so much, and have also been able to give some to my kids while they're away at university. So I filled this, but I still have a bit left in the bag. So what I'm going to do is use the stuff from the bag in the hopes that I will be able to recycle it. See how much. Now, one. Well, lucky day. So, recycling. Almost there. There we are. Now, when I bake something other than Christmas cookies, because as I said, this is the first time, I really like to clean as I go. So I didn't really use this. This is more of a preventative in case the sugar fell. I just find that fallen sugar makes for sticky counters. Okay, now I'm going to take the butter that I softened and put it into the mixing bowl. I was gifted this KitchenAid mixer. I had wanted one for years, and I was able to get a really great sale leading up into Christmas about 3 years ago. And I really, really like it. And it's become a regular part of our kitchen. I don't keep it out on the counter all the time, but I find that when the seasons come for baking and cooking, certain recipes that call for it, I will keep it out. But I try and keep it really accessible in a place that's not difficult for me to lift. So depending on what your own parameters are, in regards to how heavy items you're wanting to lift and what position. I had frozen shoulder for a year. That made it a little bit difficult. So I'd have a family member lift it for me. Okay, so the butter's in. We have a paddle. It has, it's either rubber or silicone. And it's wonderful because it gets around to the inside of the bowl, though I still will take my, where's my handy dandy? Either my blue one or my green one, and I go in just to make sure that it's off of the bottom. So here we go. We're going to get this, we're just going to do it till smooth. Make sure you, if you have one of these, make sure you lock I also keep my hand mixer. I like having the option of my hand mixer. And okay, away it goes. I like the option of my hand mixer. Sometimes there's certain recipes I just want more control over the mixing. So when that's smooth, we are going to beat in the eggs. 4. So let me get my other cup back out again, actually. And it's just a tip is to never, I'm just going to blend this down from the bottom, never put the egg directly in. I always put eggs in a separate container first in case one is foul, bad, and then you're not only losing the eggs or egg, you're losing all of the butter and the sugar, and that's not great for our budgets. So get a separate container and, excuse me, you may hear my kitty cat. I have a senior cat who's 15 and a half, and he is very chatty. And he's becoming more so the older he gets. I have a girlfriend whose senior cat does the same thing. Anyway, he's due for his vet appointment in January. Another part of the duties of a homemaker is obviously pet care, and of course if you're on a farm, you have much more involvement in maintaining and keeping them outside. Ours are indoor. We're in an urban area. However, we're near a ravine in Canada, and we have coyotes. And during 2020 and 2021, the coyotes came up from the ravine. Okay, I'm gonna blend this some more. I got it down from the sides, and I've got my eggs ready. Everything smells great. They're good fresh eggs. Beat in eggs and vanilla. So the vanilla is 1 teaspoon. So I'm gonna actually just put it right into the eggs, and then I can add them to my KitchenAid mixing bowl all together. I'm wearing my poinsettia earrings today. And a Christmas tree that was given to me when I was about 6 years old. And I take it out each season. Now, to get it off my paddle, I keep the motor running and I just gently lift it. Similarly with my hand mixer. Okay, this is looking great. I don't know about you, but I deliberately hold back eating a lot through the afternoon of Christmas because the meal's so big. I find it's different for the young adults in my life. I'm just going to show you where this is right now so you can kind of see the consistency. Can you see that? I just turn on a better light. So I'm going to bring this in. I hope you're able to see that. Give you an idea of, like, it's really tacky right now. And now we're going to add in the eggs and vanilla as per the instructions. So here we go. It's very exciting. You know, like anything in life, you can't know from the start, and there's going to be trial and error. And none of us are perfect. None of us. And I just wanted to show you that there's other areas I'm going to be able to teach you about that I know really well, having been a homemaker these past couple of decades or more. Yeah, I think I'm going on 21 years. But there's other things I don't know, and I'm not going to pretend that I know. So that's why you're working through me with this. Okay, so we're going to beat in the eggs and the vanilla. Now I'm going to use, this is a splatter shield that I also got with my KitchenAid mixer. Okay, I'm locked and ready to go. Hopefully that noise is not too disruptive and you can hear me. We need 5 cups of all-purpose flour. Okay, that's looking great. Please make sure that you're checking your flour and its expiration date. It is not something that you want to be uncertain of. Now, I know this is not necessary. However, I like to sift my flour. I just find you get a better quality, especially if it's been sitting for a while in your cupboard, you know, settles down. It just sort of brings the air back into it and fluffs it up. However, I do not do it when I'm doing homemade waffles. So, here we go. Were you able to do any volunteer work over the holidays? Are you planning to do something maybe between Christmas and New Year's? There's always places that either can be reached out for help or you can volunteer at to provide the help. We have a few programs through our community, whether it's clothes, food, acts of kindness. We're having a very mild winter so far. That's 2. And there's been no need to be troubling our neighbors. Driveway. He's a senior in our community, and a lot of us will get together with our shovels and go clear his walkway so we can get in and out to his car in case he's needing to leave in a jiffy. See, this looks, I'm going to hold this up. See how light, wait. See how light and fluffy it is now? I think it adds quality, but don't worry if you don't have it. Do not worry if you don't have it. The sifter, that is. Okay, last one. How are you doing? Are you laughing at me because you've made this recipe so much? And you're saying it's so easy. Well, there's a first for everything. Sometimes it's learning how to declutter a room and get the space that you need for living your life as opposed to being a storage unit. And sometimes it can be really hard to know where to start. And I can really help you with that. And we're going to be doing that as you join me here through the course of time. Okay, I have my stew and we are ready. I'm going to take a moment though. As I said, I like to really get the ingredients off the side of the bowl, make sure that it's getting right down, mixed well right to the bottom. I don't want any surprises later. Do you eat cookie dough? Do you like raw cookie dough? I know of quite a few people who dive into that. I know there's cookie dough ice cream flavors, but people will actually just eat the raw cookie dough. I want to get that down. We don't want to miss any of this goodness, do we? All right. Stir and flour the baking powder. Now the baking powder was calling for 2 teaspoons. And here's the one. I deliberately set this aside. Now, one of my tips is when you have your baking powder, don't take off the whole paper, leave half. And so that when you go to scoop, instead of having to use a knife to level off the spoon, use the paper. So that is 1 and 2. You can even write a little message. I mean, if you're not the only person in your kitchen, write a note, do not tear off. I had some family visit and one of my family members was like, can I take this off now? I said, no. I use that to keep it as my level. Okay, and the last thing is, as I mentioned to you, I'm not going to use what they're calling for the salt. It's asking for 1 teaspoon. I'm only going to do a quarter because I used the salted butter. It's a heaping quarter, but it's a quarter. Now, it's been said to me many times before, baking is a science, not an art. Cooking is an art, where you do a pinch of this and a dash of that. And that's not the case with baking. It is a science and has to be exact. I'm not going to talk while I crinkle this. Okay. I hope things are clear for you. I really work to keep things clear as I go. So this is actually going to the wash also. But all of my ingredients are now away. So I'm not left with craziness. Okay, so we're going to get our dry ingredients mixed in. I'm just going to do a little bit at a time. How are you doing? Sticking with me? Are you laughing? Are you enjoying? Maybe you're learning along with me. That would be great. I hope so. It's looking really good. It's amazing, just the 2 scoops and the body's really building up. Oh, tip. Somebody in my family mistakenly put the splash guard in the dishwasher and now it's warped. So I'm hoping to come across one on Facebook Marketplace. Sometimes people get these mixers and they don't use them, and so they'll sell it for a little bit less than retail. I hope you can hear me on this microphone. I'm very new to doing these videos, but I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for joining me on this really special day. Can you hear the motor slowing? So I'm going to get my speed up a bit to make sure I'm not sure if you can hear me, but I'm going to just do this. I want to make sure it's blending. Needs a little help here. Okay. Okay, as I said, I like to use my spatula because it can get built up on the paddle, which is fine. I appreciate the motor that comes with these stand mixers and their ability to get things blended well, but I also like to help the process as I get it on my hand. What's making cookies without a little bit of batter on our hands, right? Okay. Yeah, it's really coming together. Now, this needs to be chilled for 1 hour or more, at least 1 hour, it says. And so, as I said, I'm going to be putting these in after the turkey comes out and before we serve pies tonight. So I'm not sure. Trying to keep the privacy for my family. So what I may do is a quick video of the end result. I'm hoping to do more for you, but as I'm sure you understand, not necessarily my family's wanting to be on camera. And what do you, put in the comments, what main meal do you like to have on the holidays? Perhaps fish, beef, maybe your meal's vegetarian. I have a great cookbook here from a woman in Ontario. I can't remember which city she lives in. Toronto maybe, or she's out in Mississauga. Maybe Oakville, and her name is Angela Liddon, Liddon. Fantastic vegan cookbook. I have several friends that own it, and I don't know anybody that's been disappointed in any of her recipes. So Angela, if you're watching, thank you for all the wonderful recipes. I'd love to meet you one day. If you're ever at my end of the province. Okay. And if you're in the States, our provinces in Canada are kind of like your states. We have a lot of landmass here. Okay, I'm very pleased with the way this has turned out. I'm going to show you the consistency. I'll bring it closer to the camera. And I'm going to keep it really simple. And I'm going to, once this is in the bowl chilling, I'm going to make some icing. And I believe I still have the red and green sprinkles in my cupboard. I hope so. I'm not going to put a lot of pressure on myself. Just trying to do something that's adventurous. There's other moms out there who can make up a storm and mix a really large meal. Or they have everything done in the freezer by the time December 1st comes. And they just take them out, put them in packages as they go. We'll see how this goes and if it's a fit for me. No pressure. Just because somebody enjoys something and they're good at it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be the same for me. And that's okay. So I'm going to keep it in this bowl. I think that at some point somebody had suggested to me that when you're chilling cookie batter, that it's best to do so in a metal bowl. Put it in the comments if you've heard the same, because as I said, this is new for me. Let me know. I'm going to hope. I know that's the case when you're making your homemade whipped cream. And now I'm hoping it's the same for cookie batter. Okay, hang on, I'm going to show you. Can you see that? I'm hoping you can. Yeah, I think you can. So really thick. Now, it says in the instructions that when they're done, and when I am rolling them out, I'm going to be rolling them out to my specs. 1/4 to 1/2 inch thickness. So we'll see how many we get. I think the yield is, I think they said about 60 cookies, so that's great. And with 5 in the house, 3 being young adults, I don't see them lasting longer than maybe 48 hours, so 60 is a good amount. Okay. All right. I am ready to cover this and put it into the fridge for chilling. And then I'm going to wipe up. I'm going to hand wash my baked items. I have my dishwasher running from the turkey prep, so I'm not going to be waiting for that to be done. I grew up without a dishwasher, so I don't even hesitate to wash things by hand. It is a luxury having a dishwasher. For those of you that don't, I know that you're very quick at getting your dishes washed and done. Had a lot of practice. I was one in a family of 7 people. You know how to do it really quickly. Okay, so wonderful. Okay, we're going to cover it. The only thing I'm wondering right now is whether or not it should be chilled. Yeah, cover and chill for at least an hour or overnight, which is perfect. So I may actually wait until the kitchen is completely cleaned up after the turkey to roll this out. And if that's the case, everybody will be so full of their food, they may be asleep, reading their books, playing with their new gadgets. How about you? Did you get any gifts this year? Are you more the giver than the getter? I'm so excited because my 3 children got together and they bought me one of those, like the auto, or I guess they call it a robot vacuum. So I'm really excited to try it. I'll give you a look at it once I get it going. And I'll be sure to clear the senior kitties out of the way. So that's it for now. Thanks for joining me, and I hope things are going well for you. And hopefully I can show you when I'm using this later with the flour on the counter. And I'm going to be using, did I show you yet? I've got these really cute cookie cutters. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. So I've got the Christmas trees, and then I've got some really cute red stars. I don't know, I may do a few large ones just for fun, you know? And then somebody gifted me a Wilton cookie press years ago. I'm hoping you can see this. And you can see the different shapes. I'll show you. I don't know if you can see. I'm just making sure it's not too dark for you. So all of these little different shapes, which are adorable. I think this would be really helpful if I were to try and do shortbread cookies. But I'm not going to get ahead of myself. Let's do one at a time and we'll see how it goes. I may stick to just the other baking that I know. So fingers crossed. Thanks for joining me, and I hope that you had fun and passed some time. Maybe you put your feet up for a little bit while you watch me stay on mine, and I'll circle back with you hopefully a little bit later. And if not, then I'll post a quick video of the cookies and how they turned out. So Merry Christmas again, and hopefully we'll see you later on, and you continue to enjoy your day. Take care of yourself. Set aside a few minutes. Put your feet up and take a deep breath.